Welcome to Board Game Maker. This is an amazing program where both teachers and students can create computerized board games and deploy them to between 2 and 4 students or classmates. Board Game Maker is perfect for practice for state standardized tests or any other fact-based practice endeavor. Watch this video closely to learn how to do everything on Board Game Maker. It may seem like a lot of steps, but once you do it once, it will be easy. So first log on and click the Board Game Maker icon. Okay, so here's, this is not the official icon yet. Okay, so then you're going to scroll down to make your first board game. You're going to click on Deploy Board Game to Students. Okay. Then you're going to click on Create Custom Board Game. And here, when you've actually created them, there are other buttons here. This one to edit one of your board games, to edit the questions of the board, and we'll come back to this one in a minute to deploy the game to selected students. But first we create our custom board game. And here you see what the interface looks like. The first step is to name your game. Then you're going to create the board. So I look down here, scroll down, this is my board. And essentially I make a board game. It's a question or a trivia-based board game, so students have to answer questions to move along the board, but they have to have a path to move along. So here, you're going to click in the squares. Click in connected squares. I think a good, and students will start at 1 and they'll end at wherever you finish. So I think a really good number of squares is about 30. So I'm going to kind of have it weave back and forth. You can do up to 100 though. And let's go down to the bottom just a little bit here. I'll actually end it at 25 right now. 26. Okay. To make the board game interesting, there's all sorts of specialty tiles. So this is a warp zone tile. You can add the warp zone to your board. If a student lands on the warp zone and answers the question correctly, they get taken to a random spot forward in the game. So I want to have a warp zone at 5, and let's have one at 15. Okay, so lose a turn we can put somewhere too. If students land on 8 and answer 8 correctly, then they lose a turn. So hopefully they'll learn not to answer that one correctly. Earn an instant reward. So if a student lands on Earn Instant Reward and answers that question correctly, he or she will get a flag or a coin that will be put in their portfolio, and they'll get to see exactly which of those they win. So I'm going to put that at 18. And then your basic move forward 4 spaces. Let's put that at 13. Move forward 2 spaces. Let's put that at 9. And here are the go back spaces. Let's go back 1, and we'll go back 2 right here. Okay, so that's basically the board. Now look, green can be kind of boring. You can leave it green, but if you want some colors, you just click randomize colors, and you can have all sorts of different colors. That'll work for me. Okay, so the next step, because it's a trivia-based board game, is to add your questions. Add as many as you can. A good game should have at least 20 questions, but you can have as many as you can. Eventually, we'll make this so you can use our own question sets, but that's not ready yet. So in Add Edit Questions, you just start adding questions. I'm only going to add a few here. So 5 plus 9. So the student would have to know to type in 14. Let's do some random. And of course, you can do questions and go back and add more later. Just do 3 questions right now. They're always multiple choice. Oops, that's not right. Okay, so now I'm going to save this game. And it says my custom board game is saved. And then it takes me back. Now watch, I'll deploy this to students. I'm simply going to say this was grade 2 math. These are the other games I've created, but I just created grade 2 math. I want to deploy this let's deploy it. You can do 2. You can deploy it up to 2 students or up to 4. You can't do more than 4 right now. So I'm going to deploy it to Gabriel. And let's do a couple others. So let's have this at 3. And then I'm going to play. Then I'm going to hit deploy game to the selected students. That's going to actually be the end of this video once I do that. The next video is going to show you how students are going to play the game. And that one's worth watching too, because there's a little bit of a trick to it. Once you get used to it, once you do it once, it'll be easy, but you have to see how to do it the first time. So I'm deploying this, game deployed. And next video will show you how the kids do this.